So, you want to find out how I ship my postcards? Keep watching. Hey guys, Ken here at Epic Treasure. Welcome back to the channel. You know, today I wanted to do a special video. This is a video that I've kind of revamped. You know, years ago when I first started my YouTube channel, I did a video on how I ship my postcards. You know, everybody ships them a different way, and I've changed things over the years, and I wanted to kind of do an update video. I was supposed to do this video yesterday, but it didn't work out, and you saw that kind of a blooper video, and that was a lot of fun to do, but this is the one I wanted to do yesterday, so I wanted to get it out to you this morning. Okay, let's start at the beginning. When I first started in postcards, I was using what's called the PWE method. It stands for plain white envelope. And what that entailed was I would take a card and I would get a regular envelope. I mean, this isn't very thick, no protection at all. And I would just put the postcard in a sleeve, in the envelope, put a stamp on it, and ship it. And that worked for about a year. But unfortunately, as time went on, even though I never had any problems, what happened was I realized that with first class letter mail, you get no tracking, which means I had no way of proving that they ever got the item. You know, they could tell me up one side and down the other, hey, I never received it, when it could be right in their hands. And I know most people aren't like that, but you know, there are a few. And I would lose, they basically would get the postcard for free, because I would have no way of proving that it was trackable, because there was no tracking number with U.S. letter mail. So that's why eBay came up with eBay Standard Envelope. And y'all know about that. And basically that's just a third-party system where it allows you to have tracking, even though it's not USPS tracking. It still tracks on first-class mail, so it will save your buyers on the postage, because otherwise they'd have to go, you know, the regular parcel package postage, and it was like over $5. And that's what the problem was. So eBay came up with this solution. And even though it's not been 100% accurate, it's been pretty good. Okay. But that's how I started, okay, with just regular envelopes. And maybe some of you guys still do it that way. I don't know. But there's a better way. So then the next step was I came across these envelopes that were a little bit thicker and made by a company called EcoSwift. And many of you guys use these type of envelopes. They are 250 GSM, which is a thickness rating. GSM stands for grams per square meter. And, you know, this has kind of become the industry standard. And I was using those too. The only reason I stopped using them was because I was having trouble with the company fulfilling my orders. There was nothing wrong with the product or the customer service. It's just that I couldn't get my orders. You know, I guess they were backed up, and when they had all those ships offshore just sitting in the bay waiting to load, and you know, I had a $63 order, and it took 3.5 weeks, and they still couldn't fulfill it. So I was running out of time. I was running out of envelopes, and I was running out of time. So I had to come up with another solution. So what I did was I came across these envelopes that are made by a very uniquely named company. These are called Sweetzer in Orange. That's the name of the company. And these are A6 envelopes, and they are 4 3/4 by 6.5 inches in dimensions. And they come, I usually buy the kind that come in a 100 envelope box like this. I can get these for about $10, which is about 10 cents an envelope. Now, I don't know, they might be a little more. I haven't bought any in a while because I bought so many before. But yeah, you can buy as many as you want, or you can buy them in 50s or 25s. I get them in hundreds. And what it is, they're the same size as the regular EcoSwift envelopes. They're maybe 1/4 inch larger, okay, which isn't much. But the problem I was facing with those is the fact that the EcoSwift envelopes were 250 GSM. While these ones here from Sweetzer in Orange, are only 150 GSM. So I lost out on the thickness. You know, they say everything's a trade-off, right? So what I did to compensate for that is I went out to my local store and I got some cardstock. Okay, this is very thick paper. Okay, this is 80-pound weight cardstock. They make them in all kinds. They make them in 100-pound, 120, but so that everything lined up with the eBay standard envelope system, and it wasn't too thick, and it had to be bendable and all. I found that 80-pound works really well. And what I did was I configured how big an envelope this would have to slide into, because what I'm going to show you in a minute is how I set this up. And I just fold these into a tent. See, it's just a tent. Okay, just like that. And these are cut to a specific size. And then what I do, let me show you here. Let me get a postcard. Here's a regular postcard. Okay, now, before we go to that step, I want to talk to you about this little sticker here. This is my inventory management system. Okay, this is how I find my cards. I have close to 7,000 cards in my store now. I'm like 150 away from 7,000. And my wife printed, you know, these. And what it is these stickers are made by Avery. And these are 1 inch by 2 5/8 inches. They come in a package like this. And these, now this is the important part. You want to make sure when you buy these, you get the ones that say repositionable. Because if you get the regular sticky labels, okay, that adhesive on there is very sticky. And when you're taking it off the sleeve, okay, then what happens is it just tears up the sleeve, and then you got to replace it with another sleeve. And I know these don't cost much, okay? They call them penny sleeves, because literally, once you buy them in bulk, you're getting them literally for a penny, okay? But as you can see, these have no problem coming off. And you look at this. Just like that. And it doesn't damage the sleeve at all or the card. Okay, and that's why they call them repositionable. Okay, and you can put it back on there. You know, you want to peel it off, of course, when you ship the card to your customer. You don't want that on there. Okay, so that's what that's all about. And the number on these Averys, just so you know, so you can get the right template, is 58160. That's the number you want. 58160. Yep. And make sure they're address labels repositionable. That's important. Okay. The sleeves I use. Okay. Let's talk about that for a minute. Here are the two sleeves I use, because I sell the standard postcards and I also sell the 4x6 continental size. Here's the standard ones, okay, and here's the continental ones. See the difference? These are 3.5 by 5.5. These are 4x6, and they will fit. I usually don't sell cards bigger than that. I did make the mistake one time of ordering some cards that I thought were 4x6, and they ended up being 5x7, and I couldn't sell them. They were too big. So those are the sleeves I use. Okay, now let me show you exactly how I put all this together. Okay, let me, it's kind of a mess here. Okay, I'm going to leave this sticker on here just for the sake of argument, because there's no need to take it off. What I do is I take one of these pre-cut pieces of 80-pound cardstock, and I take some blue painter's tape right here. Okay, you can get this at any local hardware store, any Fred Meyer. I just cut a small piece, just like that. And you don't have to do this. I just do it so the card won't slip. And I put it on the back of the card. I fold it over itself just like that and put it on the back of the card. And then I take my cardstock and I'll just slip it inside. See, that way it has enough adhesive to where it sticks and it's not going to move anywhere. It's not going to fall out of the envelope or out of the cardstock. And then I fold it over. And again, this is entirely up to you. You know, you can do it any way you want. I take another piece, a little bit longer piece. I'm going to cut that. And then I'm going to tape that over just on the edge like that. That way that card is going nowhere. Okay. Now, just as an added personal touch, and this is just me, okay, I have these little thank you notes that I have pre-designed and pre-printed. And I print these at home. And once again, I'm going to take a little piece of blue painter's tape and I'm going to fold it over itself, stick it to the back, and then I'm going to stick that right on that cardstock, just like that. Okay? So that's the way it looks when it arrives at the customer, because you got to remember, presentation is everything. It's just as important as cost. It's just as important as customer service, speed and delivery. All that's important, but how they get it in the mail, when they open the envelope is uppermost. And you should pay, attention to that. Okay, now the next step in that is these are the Sweetzer and orange envelopes. But these are a little bit thicker. They look like a regular, envelope, but they're a little bit thicker, and these are rated at 150 GSM. So that's the reason why I had to do the cardstock, because I had to make up the weight, because these weigh about anywhere from 0.5 to 0.7, 0.8 ounces. Okay, you want to make sure it's always under 1 ounce, for one card. Okay, so what I do, since this is pre-cut, I just take it and I'm going to slide it in there, nice and gentle, just like that, and slap it in there. And then these have, as like the EcoSwift envelopes, these have a peel and stick, so you just peel that off and stick it down. And then once I'm ready to do that, I will go into eBay and print my label, and that label comes out right here on my Zebra thermal printer, and you just stick it right there and you're good to go. And that's how they get shipped, and they're still bendable, which means you can use the eBay standard envelope system. I've never had any problems with that. Now, for cards that are a little more expensive, because I do the eBay standard envelope all the way up to $20. Anything over $20 gets shipped a different way, and I'm going to show you that just in a minute. I mean, the presentation is still the same. Okay? Just like that. I leave a space here so I can put my little thank you. I usually put thanks so much, Ken. It's just a personal touch. Anything you can do with your business to make it more personable, that tells your customer that you care about them and they're more to you than just another number on a sales sheet. Okay, so I'm going to set this up the same way, only the difference is with the more expensive cards, the $20 and over cards, and I've sold cards upwards of $100. I get these. These are 6 by 8 inch stay flat mailers, very thick. Okay, this will not work with a eBay standard envelope, by the way. This is too thick. It doesn't bend enough. Okay, but for the ones that I ship that are more than $20 and up, then I'm going to take that, and I'm going to slip it in here, just like that. See, it goes in there just like that. And again, this is peel and stick. Just peel that off and stick it down, and then I will print another label through my thermal printer. These do not go eBay standard envelope. These go regular USPS ground advantage. All right, and I charge $4.95 for that, and I've never had a problem with customer paying for that, because they figure it's a more expensive card. They might be paying $30, $40, $50, $100 for that card. You want to make sure it's protected. Okay, so that's what I do with that. Oh yeah, one more thing I forgot to mention here when I was talking about the sticker. When you get your stickers made, okay, they get made on those repositionable labels, from Avery. And this is how they kind of look on a sheet. Okay, I forgot to mention that earlier, but this is how it comes out. And I usually have my wife print out about 10 sheets, so I'm good for a while. And all you do is peel these off and stick them right down. Make sure you stick them to the sleeve and not the card. I made that mistake one time, and I had a time getting it off that card without, even though they were repositionable, I had a time getting them off that card without damaging it, but I did. Okay, so don't make that mistake. Okay, now, that's how pretty much I ship my cards, guys. Like I said, I started out with the PWE method, but there was no tracking. Went to the eBay standard envelope, and then changed vendors on the envelopes that I use now, and yeah, that's about it. Now, one thing more I wanted to mention just at the tail of this video. As you know, I've broken into the arena of vintage print ads, and I'll just give you a brief overview. I'll show you what one looks like when I've already prepped it. I'm not going to go through all the steps on that, but here's one that I did. This is an 8.5 by 11. Well, actually, the ad is about 6 by 9. I took this out of Popular Mechanics magazine, and I trimmed it. I got a professional trimmer. You saw that on the other video. And I trimmed it up nice and clean. I actually saw somebody, I don't know, maybe it was an oversight the other day. I was looking at some print ads, and somebody actually took a picture of one, and they forgot to trim the holes on the left side. The holes were still there. I don't know, maybe they cut, maybe it's just an oversight, but I thought that was funny. But this is how I prep these, okay? It's kind of the same thing, only I take the print ad and I stick it to the back of this. This is called backing board. It's not cardstock. It's a little bit thicker than cardstock. It's backing board, okay? This is used in photography, all right? And I just stick it there so it doesn't move around inside the sleeve. And then again, I take and I have, on these labels here, this is PC, and then there's a number. PC obviously stands for postcard. Well, since these are print ads, I did PA on this sequence, and I have my wife print these up, same like on a sheet there, and I will label that. This one is PA 20. So when this sells, I'm going to look at the SKU number, and it's going to tell me which one. And since it's PA, I'll know that's a print ad. And it's kind of the same thing. I just stick it to the backing board, put it inside a larger sleeve. This is the same sleeves I use, only smaller for the postcards. And then I tape it to there, and I tape the back like that. And that way, then when I go to ship these get shipped in a much larger, similar to this, okay? Same thing as this, only a lot larger, okay? I think they're 10 by 13 because it has to be able to, the backing board has to be able to slide in there. And that's how I protect those. And what I do with those also is I've got these little sticky labels here. It says do not fold, do not crush, bend, or fold. I got these off of Amazon, and I'll just stick one of those on there just to kind of, make it more obvious to the postman that they need to take care when they handle this stuff. Anyway, that's it. Okay, I finally got through. I think I covered everything. But yeah, that's how I ship my postcards now. So if you're thinking about breaking into postcards and you have no clue how you're going to ship that stuff, maybe this video will help you. I hope it will. Anyway, listen, that's it for now. I got to go. As always, if you got anything out of this video, and I hope you did, make sure you smash that like button. It helps the channel. I appreciate it. And I'm going to go, but you guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care, and bye for now.